Well, here we are back with the 5th build installment of Pikachu and Poke Ball by LEGO Pokemon. This is set number 72152. Contains 2,050 pieces. Retails for $199.99. Set was provided by the LEGO Group for review. Thank you, LEGO. And yeah. Well, today we're going to be focusing on that little thing here and part of the base, which is not shown in the book. So I'm kind of just toying around here, maybe doing bags 10 and 11, 12 in this installment, which would cover, bag 10 does the Pokeball, and 11, 12 starts the base. And I figured, well, let's just do that, so then the last few installments would just be that. Well, we'll see how well it goes here. And so far I've been pretty pleased with the set. We're at kind of around a 9 now, just due to a little bit for build quality, but you know, I've been having parts flaking off here and there. It's nothing too bad, but it's not like it's disintegrating, so it's even better. It's not like it's falling apart. Set's keeping my interest, lots of bright colors. I'm not disappointed with it so far, which is pretty good. Well, as always, before we can start, these videos are not to be considered construed as professional product reviews, how-to tutorials. These are just merely my notes for the final write-up. And the stories, commentary are mine and mine alone. LEGO doesn't pay me to say anything, and this is not my day job. This is just something I do for fun. And finally, don't re-upload my content without my written permission. You're most likely going to get a no, but if you want to, you can ask. You know, I always encourage that. And yeah, that takes care of that. Well, let's begin with bag 10. Let's build it. Just got done editing part 4 of this set, and I want to apologize for the rants, but you know, some people do set me into that, put me into that position. But today, we're going to be doing some of this. So now with all the bright colors, we don't have a lot in here anymore. It's about what you'd see in a typical Pokeball. LEGO has it spelled as Poke Ball, but Pokeball sounds better. Pokeball. Alright, so maybe we'll get this one done here quick in about 20 minutes. Alrighty. Well, let's dive right on in. So let me set up a part here where we're going to be constructing this. I think right there would be good enough. Let's dial everything in here for you. Okay. Step 430 starts the Pokeball. Alright. We got a lot of these. I've been hitting hard on sets today. I've been getting a bunch of stuff done. And I did 2 poly bags, finished up a friend's set, and I'm going to do this one here. My goal is to try to finish this one up here as fast as I can. I may do after this one, we'll do one of those 3-in-1 sets that I got. I don't know yet. I have no clue. But I'm going to try to get this one done here. I have a feeling this installment's going to be about an hour or so, so I'm probably going to keep you folks in a little late today. Not intentionally, though. I'm just trying to beat the heat right now, trying to stay cool and just do the Pokeball. And yeah, so I've been on a filming frenzy today. I'm in the mood to build. So that's what I'm doing. I'm building today. Okay, so that's even better. Well, you got a lot of stuff here, don't we? Doesn't look like any Pokeball I've seen before, huh? Doesn't look like anything. We're getting there. Kind of maybe took like a 10-minute nap, and I'm still kind of drowsy. Today is the 18th of July 2026. So yeah. I don't remember there ever being blue inside of a Pokeball, but no, there is in this one here. Now, LEGO, we got these now, huh? We're not plating that all together. Yeah, this set does come with the Brick Separator too, which is pretty cool. I've been just, like I said, editing video. Well, not editing. I've got 3 and 4 in the computer right now running, so hopefully I can get those done. I'm going to try to get that ready to go. So parts 1 and 2 will be released this weekend. And hopefully later will be 3 and 4. I got a set that I worked on. My goal is to kind of break them up so I'm not just doing nothing but big sets all day, because that does get a little redundant and exhausting. So my goal is to just to do this here. These would be perfect. We can get some of those little creatures put inside of here, but we'll probably never see those. Alright, so it looks like Lego puts these in upside down. So I guess I can do that too. And what I mean is, they do build upside down in the building guide. I was always debating, should I do that in my building guides or not? Well, I guess it's okay now since they did it. I use Lego as more like a mentor when it comes to writing up building guides. And if I see that they're doing it, I'll do it in mine. If it's warranted, you know. And tonight, I got to get this done in probably quickly as I can, because tonight we're going to have homemade tacos for dinner. And I don't want to just make everybody starve and wait for me, so I'm going to try to get this one done. Like, I'll start fixing dinner when I get this built, so just be very patient. So hopefully nothing bad will happen, and I can do just that. It's like, oh, how long is that going to take? I said about an hour. I said, so it gives you enough time to work up a good appetite like with me. I said, don't be snacking on cookies and stuff, you know. But yeah, sets like this, you know, I don't mind the big sets. Is it redundant? We already done the fun parts. The Pokeball is the next fun part, but the boring part I think is going to be the stand. And if this was just a set I purchased and I just wanted Pikachu, I wouldn't even bother doing the stand. So, but I have to do it because it is part of the review process. So we got, well, something that looks like a Pokeball. It's starting to look like something. And then after that, stick a couple of these in here. Boy, we're getting pretty intricate, huh? Look at this. I mean, and then after that, we flip it back over. And then we stick these in. I don't think I really have a lot of these in white, but it's a nice handy plate to have. Not too bad at all. Let's see here. Let's get this on the top here. We got a hole here. Probably the hole that Pikachu flies into when we're done. Yeah, but something like this, could this be built by up to 3 people? Probably. I think, honestly, I think 2 people can assemble this set. One that does the base and the Pokeball, and the other one can do Pikachu. They're both pretty much equal builds, so you wouldn't want to deal with that. And then after that is the sides. Got to make 4 of these here. So we're just going to do these real quick. See, Lego snuck some colors in here other than white. Okay, so this is not by all means a boring build. They snuck a bunch of bright colors in here. I bet this is going to be hinged. Lego, you have those Christmas bulbs you sold a long time ago. Why couldn't we use those for the Pokeballs and you just kind of have it we could decorate the inside of them? But it's got some weight to it. Flip it over. Now we got a flat tile in here. Like that. And then after that, we put this guy in here. That could be a hinge mechanism, we don't know. That concludes the bottom portion. Alright, now we're going to move on to the top portion of the Pokeball. Alright, and yeah, it's probably only going to be the fastest part of the build here. Yeah. You know, Pokemon came out, like I said, a little before, or a little after my time, like when I was in college, but yeah, no, more or less, if you're interested in it, it's always cool. Oh, sorry, disintegrating. I think we're going to have to leave that flat on the table. It's hard to put these here. And let's see here. But yeah, I've been trying to get some sets filmed today. I'm trying to get as much as I can get done here, so I can move on to bigger and better things. Nothing like to say this one's bad or anything. I really want to get into my own stuff, and I can't because some of these sets that I'm working on right now, they have some good parts and I want to rip out, so I'm like, okay, I got to get some sets filmed in order to take the pieces out of this one. This one has pieces. I don't need them right now, but if I did, it'd be worth ripping them out. If you've been here for a while, you know exactly what parts I'm looking for. Okay. Yeah, palisade brick right in there. We need 2 of those. Not in my hands. Oh, there it is. The bottom shell of the Pokeball was hiding it. Whoa, okay, we're going down to an 8.5 now. This thing's getting a little really flimsy here. It's just getting pretty bad. Or did I put that in the wrong way? I don't know. It's starting to get pretty flimsy. For some people say I'm hard on sets. Well, do you want to build something that's going to fall apart on you? I mean, I wouldn't, but to each his own. Alright. Like I said, when I do the reviews, usually I'll revise my scores if I find out something that I make a mistake in. Nothing's ever permanent. And then we got to do 4 of these. Right now I'm trying to fill in memory cards. I have one right now, I have 15 minutes on, and this one here's only got about 20 minutes. So right now I'm keeping an eye on the clock today. I got my camera plugged in, so the battery on this, I was running battery on filming another set. Then that was like down to like 10%. I thought, okay, I'm not going to be silly. Let's just plug it in. Let's just go on with the show. So I did that, and yeah, now I got to deal with memory cards, but at least now I got the screen right in my face, so I'll see it. Alright, so we got, don't bump into me. That's not nice. It takes care of that. I'm sure this thing's going to be really sturdy when we're done. Obviously this is not scaled for minifigures, but alright, we're going to make 3 of these. Well, that takes care of the medium azure. Alright, so we're going to keep this piece here in the back. So we're going to have to note that. Once you get all this locked together, it's not too bad, huh? It's very sturdy. And then we got the front piece here. I mean, sets like this, I mean, they're fun. They're just expensive. I know one of you had commented, "Oh, that's a what is it? A royalty tax or a brand name tax?" I'm not going to disagree with you there. That's a good way of putting it, actually. I can't remember who you are, but thank you for saying that, because yeah, that does make some sense there. A royalty tax, or a just buying a brand name, you got to pay extra for the brand name stuff. Well, I can't even pick these up. Most of these tiles are always facing like upside down on the workbench, so you can never pick them up. Like this is easy to pick up, but when they're upside down, I have to slide them off just to even grab them, because I don't have fingernails. See, this one fell upside down. Now I can't grab it. All right. And then after that, flip it over. Let's put this on this side here, because I don't know. And alrighty. Oh, wait a minute, is this printed? That's a nice piece to have. But we don't need that right now. This goes on here like this. Okay. Oh, now I do not like this. You have to swap it out to close it. You know what? But honestly, you really can't put anything in there. So what I'm going to do is keep it closed. Am I going to keep the Pokeball? I don't know, but it's a good build thing there. I mean, honestly, this does not look too good. Now it looks good. And yeah, so it depends on what build you're doing. You have one piece remaining, but can you put that inside there? Could I? Just wiggle it in. There we go. You can store that part in there. We have no pieces remaining now, so that's a good place to store that. And yeah, that's the Pokeball there. Not too bad at all. Alright, now we're going to move on to bag 11. I think I'm just going to do 3 bags in this installment. Let's see how many little bags we have in here. I bet there's 2. Yep. I thought at first it was going to make a liar out of me, but no. Okay, we'll be here for 30 minutes. I got it down to how long it's going to take. And we got Technic. I'll guarantee these are full of Technic pins. Okay, well let's start on the little one first. Jay, what's with you and Technic? I don't know. I've been trying to... I can run from it, but I sure can't hide from it. It's going to be in here. Look at all those Technic pins. At least it's just pins. We're not doing gears and stuff. Alright. Looks like we're just building the center portion of the base today. Because we're going to have to do that whole thing that looks like a spaceship. Something you'd see like in Star Trek or something. But, yeah. Let's start there. Okay. But yeah, doing stuff like this, it's fun. It's just, I know what's going to happen when I'm done doing all this. I got to go and edit. And right now I'm checking the computer because I'm waiting for a file to get done right now, so I can get things going here. I think that's how that's supposed to go. Yes, it is. Okay, hopefully I don't mess up here, because this is where it gets really messy. Okay, it looks like we're putting them in these 2 holes here, like that. And yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh, Jay, you're gonna have to do all that Technic. I know, right? You gotta do it all. Gotta do the whole caboodle, the whole shebang today. We gotta do it all. Okay, I was tempting to push it all up against the edge here, but they want a gap there. Yeah, but see, at least with my style of videos, I'm showing you the set. We're just going to discuss about anything about it. And it looks like we got 6 holes. We put one more at the end here. Let's make sure we got 6 so we didn't miscalculate. Alright, well that came off. Is that supposed to do that? Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Push that one in. I think I forgot to push it in or something, but that was my fault. Yeah, alrighty. You know, I've been looking for these for campers and stuff, and I thought Lego stopped making them. They haven't, so you know what, I'll be... Well, I try to avoid using those as much as I can in my builds. Yeah, I'm still working on my avatar a little bit. I was going to work on him today, and I thought, I'm in the mood to just build, not look at a screen. So that's pretty much what I've been doing today. So if you're wondering about Jay the Surfer 2.0, or Jay the Anime Guy, yeah, that's where he is at today. Let's start with this one here first, because that's where we want to go, and I'm just going to kind of wiggle these in here and just kind of work simultaneously. And it looks weird, but that's it. That's what we got there. This base is not quite regular. It's irregular size, so hopefully we can survive the Technic. And we're one plate away. One of my campers I had that where I was like one away and it's like, ouch, but that's what we had to deal with there. And usually when you get into stuff like making chassis for vehicles, Technic is your best friend, especially with campers and stuff, because it's got a lot of strength behind it. And yeah, let's start moving these out here because I need Technic pins, not other things. Let's move these out of here. I need 3 black Technic pins. Place these on the end here. Yeah, getting this done today. I'm going to get a bunch of stuff done. I've been in a filming frenzy. I was only supposed to film 3 installments, but I thought, you know what, let's just see. I may even get this one done by tonight. If I can, that would be great. And get it off the workbench completely and put it on display. Now, Technic is weird. You're going to have to wiggle and jiggle. Some things just don't want to line up. So you're seeing how I got to maneuver it and make it fit. So that's pretty much what it is here. I'm just checking all my work. Forgot a pin here. That would have been kind of a bad thing. This is a good thing that it just check. You know, sometimes you'll see a mistake that you made 2 or 3 steps later. You find it, don't just skip it, just get to it right away so you don't forget. Because somebody like me, I'll forget. And then I don't want to put it together and blame Lego because it crumbled apart. Skip 2. Yeah, so let's start moving things around here. I'm looking for another Technic pin here. There we go. That's perfect. Oh, looks like we're building like a car chassis. Something maybe for a train or something. Let's just flip it over, and we got to put this right there. All right. Oh, a 6x14 white. I don't think I even have any of those in that color. I'm not sure. Kind of pinch that down in there. Now we're getting back to regular bricks again. Kind of really get that flattened in there, and then we need this. Put this here. And now we're getting to my territory, which is just regular parts. Now, could I build a Technic set? You know, if I get a lot of people who are interested in it, I'll do Technic reviews. But it's not a theme that I really want to do. And if I do something like that, I don't want to... See, LEGO is picky on that. They don't want us to review Technic unless we are serious in getting into it. I'm kind of on the fence. It's like iffy. And, you know, you got to be careful because they may just tell me no. And I mean, and I don't want to get into a theme that I'm just not going to get really that involved in. Now we're going to have to hide some of those random colors in there. Yeah, going to have to do it. Wow, here's something we don't see very often. 2x4 lime green bricks. That's unusual to see that in there. And then we got a tile that goes right there. Okay, and then after that, they show a couple of blue bricks around this thing here. Okay. And I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I had to load up part 3 of this build in my up on YouTube for you to watch. See, I got to put those on there for you. Don't want to deprive you. Now we're doing a sub-step, so I'm not sure what this is going to be about here, but just like with the whole other part of the set, it's all random colors. Like, it just feels like I'm just throwing like just any old color in here. Just like, I don't care, just throw it in there, no one's going to see it. I mean, something like that, it's just pretty random here. Let's get these over here. And then we have 1x3 Technic bricks. You know, these are pretty new. I don't think I've seen them before. I've seen them in newer sets, but I mean, these are the ones I've seen. These have holes that are even. Trying to find that piece there. Goes in the middle hole. All right. And then this right here goes right there where it's sticking out. Technic's a good way to strengthen up a build, but for someone like myself, I try to avoid it. I don't want to deal with it, but it's here. Alright, and that takes care of that. And now we've got to do a sub-step. And even these right here, I don't really have any use for these yet. But, you know. Let's see here. Those are good for roads. For like going over train tracks and stuff. But yeah, that's summer here. It's just been so hot. I've been, just like I said, I've been hiding from issues. I'm hiding from things. I'm just kind of wanting to relax. You know, it's my time off and trying to get someone to help me around the house is kind of a pain in the rear, so I don't even bother asking anymore. So I just like, okay, fine. Okay, there's supposed to be 2 of these on top of one another. And this weird thing goes in here like that. I don't know what it does, but we'll find out eventually. And we need, yeah, that's it for that. And then we got to add more onto this thing. Now, what are you building, Jay? I don't know. We know it's part of the base, but what is its exact function? I have no clue. It just feels like I'm just randomly throwing parts on just something, just saying here, just building just some random thing here. Let me bring this up for you. Yeah, sometimes I like the roundness on these back sides of these things, and sometimes I wish they weren't there. Lego, now come on, we have these. I mean, maybe not. That's a little too high up. Never mind, I'll redact that comment. All right. Put that right there. Yeah, it's just been miserably hot here, so I'm just hunkered down in the house right now and not wanting to do anything. And since we're gonna make a homemade dinner tonight, I don't have to worry about hearing the complaints about, go get us a soggy burger. You know, I like home cooked meals, so I don't mind spending the time doing that. Hey, it's a lot better than getting in the car and going down and get something that's going to be nasty tasting and then be hungry an hour later, you know. Okay, why doesn't that fit? Oh, see, that's why I hate them when they're round. See how that guy's tilted? Yeah, we're going to have to straighten that back out to shove that in there. Alright, so we got that in there. We got more Technic. Oh no! Sorry for those who are cringing about the Technic, but you know, we gotta do it. One day maybe just to do a Technic marathon on here. Technic, they're involved. They don't have a lot of parts. They're just, the builds just take a long time. Alright. And after that, we got to take this guy here and stick 4 of these at the bottom. Now, you know, you can get a little crooked with these because I'm just going to, I don't have a brick separator around here. So I'm going to use the table and just see if I can line all these up just by doing it like this. See if that worked. Kind of did. Like that. And after that, this goes here. I think this is that part that goes with the slope, so yeah, we're going to have to make 2 of these now. And let's fabricate both of these first. And then these go here. Oh yeah, you know what they were trying to do here? They were doing an offset. See, that just came out, Lego. Now I gotta, that's just very bad. So be careful there. May want to hold on to this back corner here. See, the whole thing is just wanting to come apart. But you can see right now they kind of got this where it's pretty much smooth. There's a little bit of a lip there, but it's not bad. But that's how they did that. And yeah. Then we just take some smaller ones and shove them here. Be good for making spaceships or even buildings or something. Even a roof maybe. Okay. Well, not too bad so far. Now we got to flip to the other side. We got to make 2 more in reverse. Whoops. So right now I got a whole memory card cleaned off. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I still got like an hour or so on another one, like an hour and a half. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the whole entire filming this week. And more I'm thinking about it. There's only 6 bags left. Well, now we've only got 5 bags left. So we're not sure yet. Whoa, did I make a mistake? Oh, no, I didn't. No, I did not. I was looking at this side here until it showed me. Okay, now we're going to go down to an 8.5. This thing's starting to get pretty brittle here. Now, if I got to stop what I'm doing to figure out where that went, yeah, this is getting really kind of flimsy. So hold on to it very carefully. You think the base would be the most strongest part? Not this one. I think more parts are falling off of this one than they did off of Pikachu. Hate to think that, you know, we're down to an 8.5 rate. It's going to be on this. And then these two pieces got to get acquainted with each other. So that's where that goes right there. Not too bad. We're getting somewhere. We don't have a lot of parts left. So let's see if we can breeze through this real quick here. So this goes here. Yeah, be careful pressing here. There's not a lot of there's nothing supporting that underneath. And then we have this that goes here. Obviously we're going to be putting plates on the top or something because we're not going to see all that. Well, that's where Pikachu gets all his colorful stuff from. We don't know. But it's a good inspiration to show builders that you don't have to have all black in there or something. Because that's how our minds think. Oh, why don't I just stick another color and flip it back over this way? And then we got to make another one of these. I wonder if that's going to fall off. Oh yeah, we're having a little bit of a problem here, but not too bad. And then after that, we got a little sub-step here to put together. And this one here faces up. You're going to look at call out on sub-step number 4. You're going to think, oh, I got to do that. All right. That one goes like this. Not sure where this thing goes, but we got to put the tiles on the top. Where does it go? Right in there. But it shows it with this side here. I think it goes up against that tile. I'm making sure here. So there's 4 studs. Okay, right there. Where that's supposed to go. 4 studs from right there. Okay, we'll press that down because I don't want to have to dig that out of there and have to figure out what I did. And I have a few pieces remaining here. I got to put this here. Forgot to put that in. Maybe I forgot to put that in when the thing disintegrated. Okay, you know when it fell apart when I put those 1x1s in there? Let me redact it. Put it back up to a 9. That was my mistake there. I forgot to put that in there. That's why I'm saying watch the video all the way through, because I will make mistakes in these. Yeah, so far I've already zoomed out all the way. That's what we have there, and that's what we have remaining there for bag 11. Okay, we're going to wrap this up with bag number 12. I want to thank everyone on my main channel for being contributors, as well as my Patreon supporters. It's always a big help. In addition, thank you to everyone who checks out my Rubricable profile and downloads my building guides. They're there for you to build and consume the content. And lastly, if you like the way I do these things, or you like the way I do this channel, or just my randomness on here, or my rants or whatever, feel free to subscribe. It's always going to be free, so don't worry about that right now. And yeah, we just sit here and we build sets and complain about things. How about that? So if you like that kind of content, there you go. Alright, so looks like we're continuing with the sub-step. Now, I don't think that's going to be mirrored because there's only one of these. So we're going to get on it now. And then after that, I have to make a dinner tonight. And yeah. So this one here shouldn't take no more than 15 minutes. And then after that, then I'm just going to do 2 bags of each. I could probably squeeze another bag in here. If I do, I don't know. We'll see how well it goes. I just want to... I mean, this is an enjoyable build. I just got other things I got to get done right now. So I can't just really sit down. You know, if Lego's not pressuring us anymore about completions, I just don't want to be in the rear with 20 million Lego sets to review. And they're like, where's your paperwork? You haven't filed it yet. I'm sorry, I haven't gotten caught up. You know, I don't want to do that. So I try my best. to get everything done as promptly as I can. But I do things a little different than other YouTubers. I'm building with you. Okay. Some on here just do for views. I mean, I don't care if 5 people view this set and they find it helpful. Hey, that's fine. I don't care if I get 5. I mean, if I got 5 million views and if I got 10 million subs on this channel, that'd be epic. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not in my lifetime. So, but it could. But remember, you can always chime in on things here. Okay, and then this goes here. Boy, you can tell we really have some offsets there, huh? This book's kind of confusing me here. And then step 521. 521. We're really getting that far up in just one piece. This bag doesn't have a whole lot in here. That's why I'm kind of thinking maybe I should just go ahead and do another one after this one. But my luck, that bag would be big. I looked in the back of the book, and this one here was like really quick. I thought, okay, it's only a few pages. So I thought, well, I might as well just kind of prepare it. Reading off the disclaimers has been helping a little bit. I haven't had a whole lot of issues. Some people just realize, like, oh, he does this for fun. Yeah. This is just something I do just to kind of get away from that thing across the room called a computer. I mean, I don't want to stare at screens all day. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I don't want to edit videos. I'd rather build. I could watch some anime right now, but well, that requires a screen, and I don't feel like sitting down and watching screens today. It's like, are we missing something? No, I haven't put them in yet. Yeah, but thanks for the suggestions for anime flicks. I'll have to check them out too. I've been reading the comments. I may not get back to you, but I do read comments regularly. I try to respond to everybody. It's been getting difficult because I've been very busy with life activities and stuff, and dealing with all sorts of stuff, drama. Just sometimes it's just hard to keep up on things. So I try my best. Yeah, I haven't got to the trains yet, so if you're here just waiting for the trains, we're going to be focusing our attention here. I'm going to get to the trains, I promise. I got 3 trains I got to go through. I think one of them doesn't even have a complete set of tracks, so that should be very easy to do. What am I doing it like that for? I'm not even paying attention. Whoopsie, I don't want to mess up and blame Lego for this one. I don't want to do that, so we're not going to do that today. I got to focus here. Oh, you know why? You know what this is? I have to make 4 of these. Okay, hold on. I'm supposed to be on 527. I'm already doing 528. Let me do 527 real quick. See, my head's not screwed on today. It is not, so maybe I'll have to get another hobby than this, huh? All right, put that in there. Okay. And then now we got to make 4 of these. We already made 1, so you just got to make 3 more. Now this bag here might go quickly. I've only been here for about 6 minutes on this one. Just trying to think here. So probably about 45, 46 minutes so far. If I decide to do 4 bags in this installment, I could just wing through it. I'd have to really check the book. Is it something that could be done real easily? Then I could just do 3 in the other one and just review it. You know what I mean? Or just make them shorter installments. Could I do 4 bags in a review? The review's pretty easy. But, you know, I don't want to use up all my wild cards. All right, now we got to slide this and put these in here like that with that notch there. Ooh, you know what I forgot to do? Put these in here. That'd have been another thing I would have been roasted on, huh? Okay. And then after that, when we get that done hopefully successfully, we got to plug it on the blue side on this thing here. Like that. Okay, we're going to hide part of that. I would have made that piece there yellow. Well, how do I get that in there? I'm just going to start with this tallest pin first and just kind of wiggle it in. Just leave that off. That's going to fall off. Now I can put it back on there. Now we're back down to an 8.5. That should not have came apart. Sometimes I don't know if they're doing instructions. Somebody told me that they do this stuff with AI. If Lego's using AI to write these up, that's kind of a shame on them. Sometimes, even when I use AI for my building guides, I always use it as a reference. Like, hey, what do you recommend? And it's like, okay, I can't do this. When I do my guides, I literally build my own stuff before I even publish. And if something's hard to figure out or I can't make sense out of it, back to the drawing board again. I kid you not. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to stop after this one here. So I can keep these installments rather on the short side because I don't want to literally just burn myself out on sets right now. So it gives me a chance to make some dinner, get it going, and so I don't have anybody saying, oh, you were too busy playing with your Legos with an S, you know. Oh. Okay, we're going to start with this guy here first, this corner plate. There. Okay, watch out for step 533. There's a bunch of stuff going on here. There's literally a bunch of stuff here. Okay, I think that goes there like that. Then you have a 4. Then you have a 3. And then you got 2. 2 pieces left. And that's it. 9 minutes. It's not too bad. So we did probably, I probably did 40, yeah, this would be about 50 minutes. Let's keep it like that. And that's what we have remaining there for the base. I'll get it later. Okay, summation of thoughts. And yeah, it's not too bad. I thought, ooh, maybe I forgot to hit the record button. So I'm looking at this thing. It's an hour and 23 minutes left on this card. No, because I had the other guy. That's what we've done so far. And yeah, I think the best thing is to break this thing out into smaller installments. Because if I look in the back of the book, 13 is this guy here, supposedly. Do I dare try to squeeze that in? No. I could. Then 14 is another section. I could do 13, 14, and 15, and 16 and keep them small. That gives me a chance to do other things in between, because I am going to finish this one up. But yeah, we'll put it on the most exciting side here. And we'll put the Pokeball back there like that. I'm just setting it up for the thumbnail right now. And yeah, I mean, if you look, it is what it is, but we're getting somewhere. I mean, it's not too bad. Now we're getting to the point it's 8.5. It's starting to get brittle, but we're not done with the base yet. But it should not ever come apart when you're trying to build. But I want you to know what do you guys and gals think of this portion of Pikachu so far? Let me know in the comments.